when sickness takes a hold, when cancer picks a fight, when baby's on its way, when life throws you a curveball, we've got you. With nearly 130 years in your backyard, Aultman knows you and knows your community better than anyone. We're your neighbors, your friends, your family.
John Decker,
and we want you to be the healthiest you can be. Today. Aultman, we are ready.
I'm so
We've
sorry.
got you.
Thank you and your team for
not Tuesday. Okay.
And friends.
You have gotten
Safe travels, John.
many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Live from the WHBC Broadcast Center. Find out more about area businesses, agencies, and events.
That's what's going on right now.
This is Spotlight.
And good morning, everyone, and welcome to this Monday edition of Spotlight. And well, November is National Hospice and Palliative Care Month, and we thought it would be a wonderful chance for us to talk more about hospice because I know a lot of people have different thoughts about hospice, aren't really sure what it is. Maybe it scares them a little bit. They hear that word and aren't quite sure what to think. So we decided this would be a great time to talk about it. And we are going to do that. By the way, if you are listening on the radio, thank you very much. You can also watch us live on Facebook on our WHBC video stream if you would like to do that. Just go to our Facebook page at 1480 WHBC. You can also watch us live on our YouTube channel and just go to YouTube and search 1480 WHBC. So with us this morning, we have Angela Williams, who is Vice President of Aultman Post-Acute Care. Good morning, Angela. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. And Sydney Campanaro, who is Development Officer with the Aultman Foundation. Hi, Sydney. How are you?
Good morning. Great. And you?
Good, good. So I am so glad we have this opportunity, guys, to talk about hospice and palliative care and what you guys do in the community as well. Because like I said, I think the connotation of hospice for some folks is a little scary. Would you say that? Is that something that you guys encounter as well?
I think for sure. I think that there's confusion between hospice and palliative care, and maybe some fear that hospice might hasten death, which in fact is not the case. We're really here to support the patients and their families through those last months and provide comfort and support.
So how long has Aultman Hospice been serving the community?
So this year actually marks 30 years that Aultman Hospice has been in Stark County and the surrounding counties. And we actually had the honor of celebrating our 10-year anniversary last week of our Aultman Women's Board Compassionate Care Center. Through their vision and their generous support, we have the only freestanding inpatient hospice unit in Stark County right here in Canton.
And how do people know that it's time for hospice? I mean, is that something that your doctor tells you, or I mean, how do you know all of that?
So it's really when you anticipate a patient may have 6 months or less left in their normal disease progression. So we have a specialized hospice team, specialized trained physicians and nurses that help patients with pain management and other end-of-life issues. And we encourage our families to contact Aultman Hospice as soon as possible so we can provide care for the patient and that family support for months rather than just days.
And then what kind of services are there? I mean, when we're thinking hospice, I bet that, first of all, it takes a special person to work with hospice, but also the folks and family members that are asking for the services, they really have to be, it's a hard time for them, obviously.
Yeah, it is definitely a hard time. And our, like I said, that specialized team of hospice physicians, nurses, we provide social worker and nurse aides in the home, volunteers, chaplains. Hospice also includes, we provide medical equipment and medications. All of that is covered under that hospice care. It's a difficult decision to make for a family, but the support that's offered by the team is unmatched. And I think what separates that care team is that they're called to provide hospice care. You're right, it takes an incredibly special team to care for patients and families near the end of life.
I want to bring Sydney in on this conversation because, I mean, not only because of your participation with the Aultman Foundation, Sydney, but because also you had to utilize the services of hospice as well, correct?
I did. I've had experience with hospice with a couple of different family members. My father back 30 years ago, but then most recently with my mom. I had moved in to take care of her. She was exhibiting some memory loss issues. And then we also found out she had 2 types of cancer. So what I realized was that I couldn't do it by myself. And I'm fortunate enough to not be afraid of the word hospice. So I reached out to them straight away, and they came out with the social worker. They did the intake, and the support that we received, my whole family, and I'm the only daughter local, was not only for my mom, but also for me and for all of us. And the way that they anticipate the care that my mom needed, the fact that they could get her into the shower because she wouldn't shower with me. It's just a dignity issue as well. And hospice is able to provide that kind of dignified care in your home or at the compassionate care center, like nobody in the family can. But then they become family. So those caregivers were just ultimately important, not only for my mom, but mostly for me. The support that they provided me was unbelievable.
Sydney, did you notice a difference? Because I too was, involved with hospice with my dad, which was 20 some odd years ago. Did you notice a difference between then and now, the hospice care?
Well, not only the hospice care, but then how I responded to it, because I knew that they were there to support me. I had sort of flipped a switch in my head and was no longer my mom's daughter. I was her caregiver, and they allowed me that comfort to be more of the daughter for those last few weeks. And that is immeasurable in how much I appreciate what they were able to provide.
Also, maybe Angela, we can talk a little bit about palliative care, because there is a difference between the two. Maybe you can explain that a little bit.
Sure. So while all hospice care is palliative in nature, not all palliative care is hospice. So palliative care is appropriate at any time during a serious illness and can be provided with disease treatment. So you do not have to have 6 months or less anticipated. You can have that at any time during a chronic serious illness. And we can provide palliative care in wherever you call home, your traditional home, if it's an assisted living or a nursing home. Our goal of palliative care is to make sure that your goals align with the treatment you've chosen. The patient doesn't have to have a terminal prognosis in order to be eligible for palliative care.
And so, and the kinds of services that are offered, how do they make the decision between the two? I mean, what's the point? Do they make that decision?
So for palliative care, you contact the Aultman Hospice and Palliative Care office, talk to our nurses, and palliative care can come out, like I said, to your home. Advanced practice nurses, registered nurses, social workers are all there to support patients and their families. We have somebody on call 7 days a week, 24 hours a day to answer any questions. We're there to help support the patients, manage any symptoms they may have, really to just complement and make sure that the patient's goals are met.
All right. I know we have still a lot of things to cover today. I know there are a lot of questions out there that people might have. We also want to talk about the Memory Tree event for sure. And because November is National Hospice and Palliative Care Month. This is a great time for folks to learn more. We will continue to do that on Spotlight right here on 1480 WHBC.
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Radio is just one of those things we all grew up with, and we go to it informed on weather and other events.
Powered by 1480 WHBC.
Kept informed for all of the local stuff. You know, if I needed to know what was going on, so it let me know what was going on in the local community.
The weather may not cause a school delay or cancellation, but during these uncertain times, things can change in an instant. The WHBC Alert Center at WHBC.com.
It's not magic that will deliver 1 billion packages to homes across the country this holiday. It's the United States Postal Service. And we don't need a team of reindeer to do it because we've added more vehicles to our fleet.
What a gift,
and while we
man.
don't
Thank
come down
you.
your chimney,
Oh,
we
dude.
can pick up
I really
presents for you.
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Making more holiday deliveries to homes than
Verses on
than
there?
anyone else seems like magic.
I saw.
That means
Thank
we're
you.
doing our job. Share the magic at USPS.com.
Yes.
I'm not sure why, but I can hear everything you
I'm
say.
Pam Cook for
here.
Froggy's Car Wash. It's that time of year in Ohio. The weather changes.
I
Your
heard John
car's
Decker.
always dealing with the elements, rain,
Morning,
mud,
Pam.
dirt, and dare I say it, even snow. This is when you need to pay particular attention to the dirt and grime that coats your car. Get it off there. The cleaner you keep your car, the longer it will last and the better it will look. Froggy's is the place to go. They'll take great care of your car. No one cleans your car like Froggy's does. A hybrid wash, a person with a high-powered hose. Then you go through and you see the foam waterfall, the hot wax, the paint protectant, the tire shine, high-powered blowers, and they have a lot of different options. You can pay one low price per month and wash your car as many times as you like. That's how I do it. 2 great locations, one on Lincoln Way in Perry Township, the other one on Everhard Road in Belden Village. So convenient. Take a look at the wash menus and all the other options they have at their website. It's froggieswash.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell. New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated, and divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone, but you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Cleveland area attorneys. 5 Rockside Road, Suite 350, Independence, Ohio, 44131.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
AA Hammersmith Insurance Agency, with offices in Massillon and Alliance, and online at aahammersmith.com.
If you have a degree to fall back on, you're always safe.
We have essentially dropped $1 trillion of student loan debt onto the backs of hardworking American families.
They don't tell you that there's $180,000 price tag attached to it.
I'm paying all these bills and I have nothing.
Is that the American dream? This is probably the most important financial decision in your life.
Watch a new documentary from Ramsey Solutions, Borrowed Future, How Student Loans Are Killing the American Dream on Amazon Prime Video, Apple TV, or Google Play.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents. And Doug.
Don't you just love the smell of old books? Shh, this is a library. Sorry, ma'am. We're looking for a book titled Liberty Mutual Customizes Your Car Insurance so you only pay for what you need. I don't think we carry that, but check nonfiction. It really does devour literature. Please leave. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. When struggles seem too tough, when sickness takes a hold, when cancer picks a fight, when baby's on its way, when life throws you a curveball, we've got you. With nearly 130 years in your backyard, Aultman knows you and knows your community better than anyone. We're your neighbors, your friends, your family, and we want you to be the healthiest you can be. Aultman, we are ready. We've got you.
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
And welcome back to this Monday edition of Spotlight. As I mentioned, November National Hospice and Palliative Care Month, and want to raise awareness about hospice and palliative care, of course, and what better way to do than our friends from Aultman. And this is, there's so much information out there. And with us today, we have Angela Williams, who is Vice President of Aultman Post-Acute Care, and Sydney Campanaro, Development Officer with the Aultman Foundation. And Angela, I also want to ask you about kind of the facts and myths about hospice, because like I said at the start of the program today, you know, so many people have they already have something preconceived in their mind about hospice, or if they hear the word palliative care. Is that true?
Definitely, and that's a great question. There are a lot of myths, I think, as you know, sometimes that hospice word, like we talked about, can be scary. And I think probably one of the biggest myths I hear is that hospice is just for cancer patients. And in fact, over half of all hospice patients have a condition other than cancer, such as heart or chronic lung disease, or Alzheimer's.
So is all hospice care the same? You know, would you consider that the same?
So all hospice care, in fact, is not the same. There's a Hospice Compare website that Medicare has, hospicecompare.com, and you can go on there and compare hospices, compare their patient and family experience, as well as the quality of care with hospice. Aultman Hospice consistently ranks the highest hospice here in our area.
And you brought up Medicare, so I'll ask the question. I mean, a lot of people probably wonder, how is it paid for? Who pays for it?
Sure. So Medicare, Medicaid, and most private insurances do pay for hospice. And with that hospice benefit, it covers all of that medical equipment that your loved one may need, and their medications.
And that's probably very important, because when it comes to, you know, when we're talking end of life care, this is another thing. People don't really want to be thinking about expenses and those kinds of things. So that can be a tough thing, right?
Absolutely. And so that helps kind of alleviate maybe some of that financial burden that you're concerned of at end of life. And what equipment could your family need? A hospital bed, wheelchairs, oxygen. So all that's going to be included in that Medicare hospice benefit. It's a relief to families.
So how do we connect hospice with palliative care? I mean, how are the two connected?
So like I mentioned, that while all hospice care is palliative, so we're going to manage your symptoms, keep you comfortable, that palliative does not require that terminal diagnosis. But as that disease progresses and your care needs advance, our team can transition your loved one to hospice with that same dedicated team of specially trained caregivers.
And we have Sydney Campanaro with us, Development Officer with the Aultman Foundation. And you know, both of you can answer this question, obviously, but you know, we talk about the families and how you get help for the families. What about after the fact, or even during, you know, this whole time? Is there help for the families? You're helping the patient, but is there help for the families too?
Absolutely. So while the patient is with us on hospice and palliative, there's social workers and nurses there to support the family. Chaplain visits can be there as well. And then after the loved one passes away, we provide 13 months of grief counseling. We have support groups, and we do one-on-one counseling as well for the family's loved ones that are left behind.
Sydney, what was your experience with that? Was that something that was very important to you and helpful?
It really was. And actually, the one social worker that I worked with, Sarah, then when I started working here, it was really great to be able to connect with her and the other caregivers in a whole different way. So like I said, they do become family. So they follow up with you and they care deeply. As you guys both said, the call to work for hospice and with hospice is so unique and special. And the fact that then they have that call then extends to their care of that family. Just as much as we're reliant on them, they become so supportive of the family. Sarah and I, she would take my call anytime. The nurse would take my call anytime. Our caregiver, Beata, was amazing and would come whenever we needed her. And that is so, so special. And it just can't, there's no words to express how important that is. And those follow-up emails and letters of support throughout the time, and getting a note on the anniversary, the 1-year anniversary of my mom's passing, was really, really important to know that they remembered.
Yeah, I think for me, one of the really important things was the step-by-step, the person being there with you step-by-step, because you don't know what's happening. This is obviously something new and very hard and traumatic. And so having that person there that knows what's happening and, where you go next, what you do next, and maybe, kind of what you can expect, I think was probably very, very helpful as well. I'm sure that's something you guys realize too. Yeah.
Right. And having those nurses and Dr. Marsh working together in that palliative care system was really important. Having that team behind you as a family member felt like you weren't alone, because I mean, you can really feel very lonely in this kind of situation, and the sadness becomes really deep. But when you don't feel lonely, or alone, then you can rally and do what you need to do.
All right, we have a lot more to get to this morning, and we'll talk about, as I mentioned, the Memory Tree event and much more here coming up on Spotlight on this Monday morning right here on 1480 WHBC.
I'm so glad I found this radio station.
Canton's Morning News, live and local with Jordan Miller, and the Kenny and JT Show.
I bet it's local.
Local issues and community information. This is the right place. News Talk 1480 WHBC. This is the right place.
You could have a job or you could have a career. Today we're talking to Mike and Celeste from Case Farms.
That's right, JT. We are hiring. We have some great competitive paid positions available. We have refrigeration and maintenance mechanics, CDL live haul drivers with local routes, and general labor positions, both full-time and part-time. And not to mention, great benefits.
That is correct, Mike. We offer excellent benefits: dental, vision, health, tuition reimbursement, 401k, paid vacation, and holidays.
Apply today at casefarms.com.
casefarms.com.
This is Mike Frazier, Senior Pastor at Canton Baptist Temple. I would like to personally invite you to worship with us at 10:15 this Sunday morning in our worship center located at 515 Whipple Avenue in Canton, Ohio. If you cannot be with us in person, please tune in to our broadcast right here on WHBC at 8:30 on Sunday mornings. For more information about our ministries, you can visit us at cantonbaptist.org. We look forward to meeting you soon.
I miss my baby, someone stole my baby. By the way, my baby is my landscaping truck that was literally stolen from a job site. Baby, won't you please come home?
Owning a small business isn't always as lovely as it sounds, but with 30-plus customizable coverage options, Progressive Commercial keeps your business humming along. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
I love my sweetheart. By the way, that's my riding lawnmower.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage and discounts not available for all vehicles or states. Policy terms and conditions.
Start earning $17 an hour and have a set schedule. ARE, an aluminum truck cap manufacturer located just southwest of Mount Eden, is hiring first shift production team members starting at $17. Apply now at 4ARE.com. ARE is a truck hero company and an equal opportunity employer.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your family deserves the purest water possible. That's why you need a Verndale water softening system to solve your hard water problems. Save 15% off any purchase with code RADIO15 until 10/31/21 at Verndale Water Experts.
Verndale's Water Center.
WHBC AM Canton, reliable as ever on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
From the News Talk 1480 WHBC newsroom, the 2021 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony took place in Cleveland this weekend. This year's class included Tina Turner, Foo Fighters, Carole King, the Go-Go's, Jay-Z, and Todd Rundgren. You'll be able to watch the ceremony on Saturday, November 20th on HBO and HBO Max. One of the 4 retail pharmacy companies on trial for their alleged roles in fostering an opioid crisis in 2 Ohio counties has now settled a lawsuit with 10 government entities in the state. The settlement announced last week by Giant Eagle includes Lake and Trumbull counties. The county's federal lawsuits against CVS, Walgreens, and Walmart will continue in a trial in Cleveland. The death of a 38-year-old woman whose body was found last week on the side of a road wrapped in plastic in Tuscarawas County still under investigation as they await toxicology reports. The woman has been identified as Amber Sherrill. Her cause of death has not yet been determined. Medical experts say new coronavirus infections are down 60% across the U.S. from the peak of the Delta variant wave in September. Many experts attribute the timing of that drop to increased vaccinations. American Airlines has had to cancel more than 1,700 flights over Halloween weekend, including more than 900 on Sunday alone. They say it was due to weather and staff shortages. No word on what might happen this week. Ben Roethlisberger, possibly for the last time at First Energy Stadium, led the Steelers to a 15-10 win over the Browns yesterday. The Cincinnati Bengals lost to the Jets. The Ravens had a bye week. That tightens the race in the AFC North as the Browns head to Cincinnati on Sunday. I'm Pam Cook on 1480 WHBC.
Your severe weather station, News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Partly cloudy skies continuing for the rest of the day. High this afternoon 52, then mostly cloudy tonight, low 40. Chilly day on Tuesday with clouds and sunshine. High tomorrow 50, then mainly clear Tuesday night, low 33. Partly sunny and chilly Wednesday, high 50. Then we can expect showers Thursday afternoon, high 48. I'm Holly Holdren for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Calling all runners and walkers of all ages, the 12th annual Girls on the Run 5K Run Walk event presented by Aultman Health Foundation. It's Saturday, November 6th at Kent State Stark University. The 5K Run Walk event, the culminating event for girls participating in the 8-week social, emotional, and physical activity program. The 5K is open to the public and everyone is encouraged to participate. The Girls on the Run 5K is the major fundraising event for the local nonprofit. Every registration supports a future Goater Girl. 1480 WHBC invites you for a day of fun, health, and girl power. Presented by Aultman Health Foundation, including Girl Power sponsors AEP Ohio, Gregory Industries, TPH5, Tanya Haroff, Mix 94.1, and 1480 WHBC. You can walk, run, or anything in between. Log on to gotreeco.org or WHBC.com. It's a girl thing. Register today.
Crown keeps you warm and we keep you cool.
We're here for you day or night.
I see you, Northeast Ohio. You're starting to think about those warm, comfy sweaters in the closet. That first sip of pumpkin spice. Yes, glorious fall is in the air, which makes it so easy to forget that following on the heels of everyone's favorite season is frigid winter weather, ready to do battle with your furnace. Be sure your furnace is ready to take on the cold and keep you as warm and comfy as those sweaters with a phone call to the Carrier experts at Crown Heating and Cooling. And between September 6th and November 19th, 2021, Crown Heating and Cooling is offering cool cash rebates up to $1,650 on qualifying new Carrier home comfort systems. That's $1,650 back on an energy-efficient system that will keep you comfortable all winter long and save you money as well. Turn to the experts at Crown Heating and Cooling and Carrier for indoor comfort no matter what season. With Crown, estimates are always free. Call today and let Crown show you how much you can save when you turn to the carrier experts at Crown. Call 330-499-4988 or visit them on the web at crowngroupohio.com. Ohio license number 27133.
At Fulton Drugs and Medicap Pharmacy, you are not just a number. You're someone we know by name, and we pride ourselves on keeping up with your individual needs. We're your hometown pharmacies, and we want you to think of us as your neighbor. Medicap Pharmacy and Fulton Drugs are pharmacies you can count on for all of your prescription and over-the-counter needs. We're proudly serving the Canton and Massillon areas with drive-through and free delivery service. The only number we care about is number 1, and that's you. Come and see us at Medicap Pharmacy and Fulton Drugs.
When struggles seem too tough, when sickness takes a hold, when cancer picks a fight, when baby's on its way, when life throws you a curveball, we've got you. With nearly 130 years in your backyard, Aultman knows you and knows your community better than anyone. We're your neighbors, your friends, your family, and we want you to be the healthiest you can be. Aultman. We are ready. We've got you.
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And welcome back to this special Monday edition of Spotlight. And of course, as I mentioned last half hour, November, National Hospice and Palliative Care Month. And we are trying to raise awareness and a lot of good conversation in the last half hour. By the way, if you want to watch the WHBC video stream of this, you can do that at our Facebook page. Just go to Facebook at 1480 WHBC and like our page, or go to YouTube and our YouTube channel. You can watch it there. And it'll live there, so you can go and check it out later on if you want to do that as well. And with me this morning, we have Angela Williams, Vice President of Aultman Post-Acute Care, and also Sydney Campanaro, Development Officer with the Aultman Foundation. And Sydney, I want to talk a little bit about, we've been mentioning it, the Memory Tree event that's coming up, and this is pretty awesome. Tell our listeners what the Memory Tree Light Up a Life event is.
Absolutely. Well, we're very excited. This is our 15th annual Memory Tree Light Up a Life program. 100% of the proceeds that we raise through this event go to Aultman Hospice and Palliative Care. And that is extremely important because at Aultman, you know, our mission is to lead our community to improved health, but we can't do it alone. The great thing about hospice is that insurance does help cover costs, and but no one is ever turned away regardless of their ability to pay. So we do fundraising for our hospice teams, and this is one of those ways. So our 15th annual event, and this is our second year to be virtual, and we're very excited about that. We work with the North Canton Hoover video productions team, and they do a fabulous job with all of our recordings, and then we share it for the first time on Tuesday, December 7th at 6 o'clock. And then we'll also be sharing it afterwards. But what it is, we have two ways to give. You can either sponsor a light for $20, and that light then shines brightly on the Bedford lobby tree that is put up, or we also have for a $250 tribute or sponsorship, we have the tribute wreath, and those are hung in both the Aultman Bedford lobby area, 7th Street lobby leading towards Bedford lobby here at the Canton campus, and also at Aultman Alliance in the main lobby there as well. And the wreaths are beautiful, and then they have ribbons on them that indicate who made that donation. Like this one is for my mom and dad. And so that one will be happening again this year. And we're really just honored that we've had about 40 tribute wreaths every year. We'd love to hit 50 this year. And then we have about 700 to 800 names every year that are honored. And those are either loved ones that are still with us or those that we hold in our heart, like my mom and dad. We have these great brochures that will be out and about in the community. We've also mailed these out to a lot of folks, and you can go on Aultman.com, or I'm sorry, AultmanFoundation.com, and you can give right online. It's so simple and easy to give.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the website right now, and I mean, it just is, it kind of, lighting up, and the light, and also the wreath. It just, that's kind of a warmth thing for people, and a great way to send a tribute. So if somebody is here and they want to get involved in this whole thing in general, how can they go about doing that?
Well, the easiest way is to go right online to altmanfoundation.com. And there's a banner right across the top, and you'll see it. It says Light Up a Life Memory Tree. And you can click right on that banner, and it'll take you directly to the donation page. Or you can give me a call or an email too.
And then
there it is.
Yeah, there you go. If you're watching us on video, you'll see it. And I said earlier to JD, I said, that's a really beautiful picture. I like that so much. And if you join the virtual event, which if you make the donation, you're invited to that event, correct?
Correct. It's a Zoom webinar, and we really encourage as many people as possible to join us. We can host up to 1,000 people. And the great thing about being virtual is, one, we don't have to worry about the weather. And then even more importantly, you can invite your family and friends from all over to watch this program together. There's music and time of reflection. There are speakers that share messages of hope. And we have 2 families this year, one from our Alliance Hospice. They've used home hospice out of Alliance. And then one that had to stay at the Compassionate Care Center. So those 2 families will also be sharing their message of hope and gratitude to hospice, so that everyone can have a better understanding of what this feels like for those families and how important it is to be involved. And it's a wonderful gift that you can give to your loved ones and to your family and friends. And this can be in honor of someone as well. So like, we honor our doctors with a light in their, in the names of the Aultman doctors. And we will honor our frontline workers that have been working so tirelessly this year with a light on the tree. So it goes well beyond what, someone might think. It's really all about bringing our community together and shining a light, and then raising money so that anyone who needs it can utilize hospice services.
Talk about Aultman Foundation, because I'm not sure, everyone knows exactly what Aultman Foundation does, for those who aren't aware.
Yes, it is really, really my honor to work here at Aultman. I was born here many years ago. And what the Aultman Foundation does, like I said, we cannot have our mission of leading our community to improved health without everyone in the community joining hands. Our friend Mike Galena always says it well. If you link arms with the person beside you on your right and the person beside you on your left, then you can work together to make the community better. And the way that we are able to provide programs like hospice and music therapy in hospice, and we're creating a new art therapy program for cancer and hospice patients. The way that we do that is through generous donations by incredible community members. And none of that is possible without all of us working together. Our internal campaign that we do with our colleagues is all together we can. And I think that it's truly external as well, because internally we all have to work together and bring the care to our community. And then our community, which is 7 counties large now, from Stark to Columbiana to Holmes to, and everybody forgets that Alliance is actually in Stark County. Like, all of our Stark County is big, but we also have Tuscarawas County and Carroll County, those 7 communities, and Wayne County as well, with our Aultman Orville Hospital. All of us together create the Aultman community. And we're here to support everyone in our community the best way that we can. And the way we do that is through donations. Our foundation was created, I believe 15 years ago now, and it is vitally important for all the things that we are able to accomplish above and beyond what the hospital does.
Yeah, and I'll just say we all love Mike Galena. Gotta add that in there for Mike. But and I also think that this whole thing with the Memory Tree event is really a heartwarming way to share and for people to see the goodness of hospice, not to be afraid. It does raise awareness and it lets them hear the stories of others. And we're going to come back and get, we'll have our final segment. We'll talk more about exactly what hospice is with Aultman and kind of recap things that we talked about in our first half hour, give you a chance to hear more about it. And it's a great thing to learn about, not a scary thing to learn about. November, National Hospice Month. And we'll talk more about that on Spotlight right here on 1480 WHBC.
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Probably about the only station I listen to.
Canton's Morning News, live and local with Jordan Miller, and the Kenny and JT Show.
I like that it's local.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
I love listening to you guys so much.
I'm so glad I found this radio station.
This is the right place.
And we're checking in with Joe at the Sarshone Ford family of dealerships in Alliance, Waynesburg, and Randolph. So, Joe, when you have a big family of dealerships like that, that means you have great selection. And that's especially true right now on your selection of Ford F-150s.
The shortage is still out there, but not here at Sarshone Ford. We have the best selection around of F-150s on ground, ready to sell, and like always, the best trade-in values around. Let's get that new vehicle on its way to your driveway. Get your own at Sarshone.
Do you or any of your family members, neighbors, or friends own a property that you just want to be done with it? If so, call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you to take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. Call 614-470-2000. I buy properties as is. Make no repairs. Take what you want and leave the rest behind. We make selling easy. I buy vacant properties, pre-foreclosures, and inherited homes. I also buy apartment buildings, rental portfolios, divorces, death in the family, back taxes. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe DeLamielleure is hosting the biggest watch party in town on the brand new 36-foot screen at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The best football day ever kicks off Sunday, November 7th. Join Joe for all the action between the Browns and Bengals with food and drinks, a cash bar, games and prizes. And the best part is, it's all included with your regular museum admission. The best football day ever with Joe DeLamielleure at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Sunday, November 7th. Get your tickets at profootballhof.com.
When struggles seem too tough, when sickness takes a hold, when cancer picks a fight, when baby's on its way, when life throws you a curveball, we've got you. With nearly 130 years in your backyard, Aultman knows you and knows your community better than anyone. We're your neighbors, your friends, your family, and we want you to be the healthiest you can be. Aultman, we are ready. We've got you.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And again, this is our special Monday edition of Spotlight, and we've been talking about hospice and palliative care. November is National Hospice and Palliative Care Month, and we have with us this morning Angela Williams, Vice President of Aultman Post-Acute Care, and also Sydney Campanaro, Development Officer with the Aultman Foundation, and talking about some really wonderful stuff that, I think it's really important for people to understand the benefits here and to not be afraid to talk or ask about it, because, it's so beneficial to people. You don't realize it. I think you don't realize it until you actually use it and go through it. And if you can figure that out ahead of time, I think that's half the battle, actually. And Angela, maybe one more time we can talk a little bit about about Aultman Hospice. Explain to us what is offered through Aultman Hospice.
Well, thank you for the opportunity for us to talk about this during National Hospice and Palliative Care Month. Having had a family member in our program myself recently, it is amazing the care and services that are provided both in the patient's home and then here at the Compassionate Care Center. When care may get too difficult, the patient's needs may be too hard for a family to take care of. The staff is truly amazing. They stay connected with you as the family, from the home setting to right here in the Compassionate Care Center. The nurses and the social workers are there with you side by side through the entire process, answering your questions, taking your calls any time of the day and night, providing family support, education, medication, just all of those skills, but all of those human connections, those human touch points as well, and walking beside you through the entire process.
And where is the Compassionate Care Center for folks who don't know?
It's located right here on our Woodlawn campus off Woodlawn Avenue. You can't see it from the road, but it's back behind our building in the front. And we have 12 absolutely beautiful beds. It was a project of the Aultman Women's Board, and we are so grateful to be able to have this asset in our community. When patients and families need this level of care, there's nothing quite like it. It's an amazing, beautiful, wonderful place that provides an environment for families to be with their loved ones during those last days and hours of life. It's kind of a park-like setting. There's beautiful patios and community spaces inside the Compassionate Care Center for families to spend that time together.
And there's also a component of what you offer that can be done at home, correct?
Absolutely. So many times patients are in their home for the duration of their hospice care, with our staff coming out to provide all that same comfort and support, really to honor our patients' wishes. You know, many of our patients want to be in the comfort of their home with their loved one, maybe surrounded by their pets. And we can make sure that that's possible, that can happen, that we're there to support that patient and the family, to hold their hands and make that process as comfortable and as that possibly can be at that time.
And what about the financial part of it? Because for a lot of people, that is very concerning. People aren't sure, should I reach out because I don't know how that's all gonna work.
Yeah. So we encourage families to reach out as soon as possible, even if it's just for education about what hospice and palliative care can provide. And we do not turn away any patients for their inability to pay. While Medicare, Medicaid, and private insurances most often cover hospice services, we at Aultman have a mission to take care of our community, and that extends through hospice as well.
So if someone has questions or they would like to get in touch with you or find out more, how can they do that?
So they can call here to the Woodlawn campus. Our number is online, or they can visit our website at aultman.org and follow the tabs through Aultman Hospice and Palliative Care, and our contact information's there. And we have a nurse available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to answer any questions about hospice and palliative care.
And Sydney, I'll bring you back in. I want you to give us the information one more time on the memory tree, Light Up a Life. Explain what that is and how folks can get involved with that.
Yes, our Memory Tree Light Up a Life program will be hosted virtually on Tuesday, December 7th at 6 o'clock. And I inadvertently said aultmanfoundation.com because, I'm showing my age, but it's aultmanfoundation.org. If you go to our website, there is a wonderful banner about the Memory Tree event, and you can click on that to make your donation online, or you can give me a call. I'm listed right under the Aultman Foundation About Us program tab and give me a call, and we can talk through all the different options of either sponsoring a light for $20 or a tribute wreath for $250. And all of the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds, go directly to our Aultman Hospice programs to provide that spiritual care and the specialized care that they're able to provide to our families here in the community.
Sydney, and having gone through all of that, one final message for those who are listening, if they're hesitant about contacting anybody.
Don't be. Call today, to get information. If you have a family member that is facing a health situation, no matter where they are in that situation, call hospice, talk to them, talk to the social workers, and find out what kind of care you can get so that you can be not the caregiver, but the child or the spouse or the family member that is working with your family.
A lot of great information shared, ladies, honestly. And if anybody wants to go back and look at this, they can do it on our Facebook page and also on our YouTube channel. And I appreciate you coming on today. Thank you so much.
We can't thank you enough for hosting us. And what a way to kick off our National Hospice and Palliative Care Month on November 1st, believe it or not, with you, Pam Cook. Thank you so much. And WHBC, we are honored to work with you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you and your team for being constant companions and friends.
You have gotten me through many, many years.
News Talk 1480 WHBC.
I'm so glad I found this radio station.
Canton's Morning News, live and local with Jordan Miller and the Kenny and JT Show.
I bet it's local.
Local issues and community information. This is the right place. News Talk 1480 WHBC. This is the right place.
There's confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID, but one thing is for sure. Whether or not you're vaccinated, you need an accurate thermometer. Contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever, the leading sign of COVID and the flu. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Be vigilant and don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They